Life as a kid was chaos. God wasn't in my life. I didn't have God. I didn't have Jesus. We didn't have any one particular person in our family that, showed us, hey, this is what God looks like. This is what church looks like. I didn't know what that life entailed. That led into me as a young age being lost, not guided really through life. So there were things in life that truly affected me. All the drugs and the alcohol that were around, and people getting shot in my backyard, people knocking on my windows in the middle of the night. But the one profound thing that happened to me as a kid was I was sexually abused. That had a profound impact on my life as I moved forward. At the time, I thought that was almost normal, with all the other chaos going on around us, right? And I kind of packed that away in my brain for a long time, but it led to me being against other people, or I pushed people away in life. I didn't trust people. I didn't forgive people. I held grudges. So those actions and those examples from earlier in my life really led me on a path of destruction. And I look back on it and it's tough, right? It's tough to rethink those young teenage years, the young adult years, and all the drinking and some of the drugs that I was doing, and reliving that stuff really affected me before I found God. So that's how I coped, right? That's how I coped with anything that came into my life that led me to worry. Instead of relying on God at an early age, I relied on those things. That was my teenage years through my early 20s. And then as I grew older, I had a young daughter, and then I met Brandy after that, and she had a young daughter. And Brandy is really the one, my wife is really the one who kind of led me to God. She's the one who said, hey, we're going to go to church. We're going to go to Brazos Point. This is where we're going to be. This is how we're going to handle things. But that led to me really just filling a seat every Sunday. And the message was, come as you are, right? That's our message to people is, and I really didn't get the second, portion of come as you are, but don't stay there. I was still lost, right? I was still juggling, still trying to find myself, still lost with some alcohol stuff, still, reverting back to my old ways when, my teenage years, my adolescent years, and just doing bad things, even though me and Brandy were married. But she was very persistent. She was very, almost drugged me to church some Sundays. So she would walk in, dragging me in. And it was tough because you would go in for an hour and you would really think about, why am I here? What am I doing here? Why does my wife keep bringing me back? Why is she dragging me into this place? So I think it was the third time that me and Brandy has actually split up due to some of the stuff that was going on in our marriage. And so yeah, we were split up, and she was still dragging me back to church. And we walked into church on a Sunday, and Greg was giving a message about marriage, and I had to listen to, this is the way marriage should be, and this is what a true marriage looks like. And I'm like, is our marriage really that bad? Is this, is this where we're at? Is this how, marriage is supposed to be? And I started thinking to myself, man, maybe we need to really sit back and, let God take control. I wasn't just filling a chair at that moment, right? I was really taking in the message, and it hit home to me. It made me realize that if I connected with God, then that would bring us back in our marriage, and that would make me whole again. That's when I knew that I'd stepped over the line of faith with God and really put my trust in God at that moment. I really took the message of come as you are, but don't stay there to heart. And I started following God's plan and trusting in God's plan. But it really has action in my life in 3 different areas. One, knowing that God will be there for me whenever I need him, and he'll be right beside me, showing me love and showing me grace as I step through my daily life. So the second thing is serving in the Next Gen Ministries with the preteen kids, the 5th and 6th graders, and just showing them love, showing them grace, showing them God's word, and being there for them whenever they need somebody the most. So, and the third thing is forgiveness, and this is the biggest for me. Not only Brandy forgiving me for my sins and my transgressions in our marriage, but also God forgiving me for those sins and those transgressions and being by my side. So if Brandy can't forgive me and God forgive me, then who am I to not be able to forgive the person who sexually assaulted me as a kid? Who am I not to be able to forgive other people that make transgressions against me in life? Before I stepped over the line of faith, I was lost. I was spiritually dead. I was miles away from God, and you might be in the same spot. But when I stepped over the line of faith, God resurrected me. If he can resurrect me, then he can resurrect you.